Making games is hard. Well, what if I tried to do it all in 50 days? Today I'm going to add an absolutely massive update to my trampoline game. Last video it looked really boring, so today I'm going to completely change it. In the previous video I made the absolute bare bones for my trampoline-based puzzle platformer, and left off with a really weird ragdoll and some super basic trampolines. I was going to need to do a lot of work. To start off, an awesome member of my Discord server recommended that I add enemies that can be jumped on, so the obvious thing to do is add a mushroom that gets really angry when you jump on his head. I made two animations, one being the mushroom getting a little angry, and the other being him eating the player. The next thing I did was completely scrap the ragdoll and reanimate him to look more dynamic. I redid his jump animation and played it at a speed relevant to his downwards velocity. I also changed how he looked in the air so that he didn't look completely still. He ended up looking very bouncy. With that done, I went straight to adding some new trampolines. A moving trampoline seemed like the obvious thing to do, so I grayed out the area where I wanted it to move from, then added 2 points where the trampoline would move in between. I then yoinked the enemy patrolling code from my other game to make the trampoline move between the 2 points. Go check out my awesome game about bugs if you have some spare time. With that trampoline done, I decided to make some buttons. The first button can toggle on and off trampolines when you collide with it. Pretty simple. But the second button can only activate a trampoline while you are pressing it. Or you could find a way to get a crate. That brings me to this, a fast moving, scary, non-stop treadmill, which can fling crates, wheels, or even you in whichever direction it's facing. With all of these new items, platforming was super fun, but that wasn't enough. I needed to give the player a challenge. I had a few ideas, like making the platforming just insanely hard, or making the puzzles really long and difficult, but I finally settled on a point system where you have to do awesome tricks to get a higher score. To start off, I spent absolutely ages on the front flip and back flip code. If you didn't know already, I hate anything to do with angles, rotations, circles, or really just math in general, but this was not a good time for me. Oh man, okay, that must be everything. Now my point system was fully working. Basically, the more tricks you do, the higher your score is, and at the end of the level, you'll get a score in the form of stars. After spending a little too long coding, I wanted to do something more exciting, so I went to add a sick background. I put a massive, transparent trampoline far in the background, then created code to spawn in tons of clones of the player in random colors and sizes. This helped make the game look really fun and cool. To finish off, I wanted to make some menus. Firstly, I added a death screen, inspired by Dark Souls, with a big dark shadow going across the screen. To finish off, I added an animation of the player falling onto the text on top of the death screen, which I think looks absolutely awesome. I then went on to add in a start menu. Of course, I added these little guys in the background, then I made a cool spinning animation for the play button, as well as some other basic options in the menu, like settings and level select. I then checked the time and realized that I had to make this video. After 1 week, the game felt super fun. I had tons of new features and even mushrooms. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. I'm still a small channel but have some crazy videos planned soon. Also, join my Discord server. If you don't, you'll miss out on tons of stuff, like features in my video, tons of updates, surprises, prizes, and more. Anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.